Independent grind. Powered by Tech Nine.
On the line right now, we have the DMV's own Ciscero. How are you doing today, man?
Hey, what it do? What it do? How you doing, man?
Not bad, not bad. Before we get into the music and stuff, we gotta hash something out here. You recently tweeted that you prefer KFC over Popeyes, and I just wanted to give you a chance to like either state your case or like apologize. I don't know if you want to change it up.
Yeah, I said it.
Do you have any reasoning for this? Were you just trying to be controversial? Like, I just don't understand.
Man, I meant it. It wasn't a typo. KFC better. I'm sorry.
But how? Like, I don't think the biscuits are better. I don't think the chicken's better. I don't see any way that KFC.
All right, Popeyes biscuits, cool. Them joints are lit. I can't hold you. I give you that. But I just had chicken and waffles from KFC. Yeah.
They have chicken and waffles?
Like that. Yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh.
You ain't even know, did you?
No, if I ever go to KFC, last year I did a bunch because I would be really hungover, and my go-to was a KFC chicken Popeye because I hated myself. So that's like the last time. But if I ever, there's no Popeyes out here in Missouri, or there's not any close to me. But I just think it's crazy to go. I've never heard of anyone else that does KFC over Popeyes.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah. But here's the thing. Another thing is, I mean, yeah, the bread is like a little soggy. Everybody say that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Popeye's crispy chicken is way better, but I don't know, man. I kind of like the little. It's a little too soggy, but I like this. I like the way it's seasoned and everything. I don't know, man. I just like KFC.
I don't know. Well, I guess we can continue, but
yeah, they have the 16 herbs and spices, so at least got that going for them.
I just don't see how anyone. But we can continue. We can talk about some music here. This isn't about fried chicken.
We still cool?
Yeah, I think we'll make it through here.
I bet.
I just started here.
I've been catching hell for that, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that it was not going well for you. Has it died down a little bit? What's it like to be public enemy number one?
Nah, bro, my manager hit me the other day and asked if I got hacked. He was dead ass too. I was like, "Go ahead, bro." I get hacked.
I guess everyone's talking about it this week. The 2018 rap for Spotify. I saw you posted it. You got over 1 million streams, over 300,000 fans, over 60 hours in 65 countries. Those are some pretty dope numbers. What's that like for you, man, to see that? Was that exciting for you? How'd you feel seeing those numbers?
Man, I feel blessed. You know, I put out my first record on Spotify in February. So from there, things just, I don't know who runs the playlist. You know, shout out to the Spotify guys over there. But you know, I just feel blessed, man. You know, I came a long way in a year. I accomplished a couple goals, and then next year I'm trying to do a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Did this change your expectations going into next year? Like, did you say, "Oh shit, I didn't realize I was going to get these numbers, and now I'm expecting something different"? Like, how does this like adjust your expectations or goals?
Not really. What changed my expectations more was seeing my colleagues, my other people who are my contemporaries, my other people who are making music. Niggas is hitting like 10 million, 14 million, 16 million. That changed my perspective. I was like, oh nah, I gotta step my game up. You know, like I felt like I did good for the 2-3 singles that I put out, but I'm competitive at the same time, so I want to be doing just as well as my friends.
Mm-hmm. How do you balance that? Because I know like it's good to be competitive, but also like it is important to like sort of go at your own pace and at your own path. Like, is it tough for you to balance that? Are you somebody that really thrives off looking at what other people are doing, or are you able to like kind of stay in your own world a little bit?
Nah, what I realize is that focusing on other people, you're gonna make huge mistakes. You're gonna do something desperate. You're gonna make a song you don't really like. You're gonna try to chase sounds that you don't really like. I think the best thing to do is to just be yourself. You know, get to know yourself as much as you can, and once you're honest with yourself, you want to translate that in your music and be as transparent through your music as possible, because that's what people really feel. That's why when niggas say keep it real or I like that nigga. That nigga, he real. Like, that's what they mean. Like, he's being himself. He's being, even if it's not a truth that everyone agree with, if you being yourself, then people fuck with the fact that you're sticking to your opinion. So, yeah.
And I know, like, it must be, like, you obviously say, like, you're working with a lot of people, I know, especially in the DMV scene. Like, it's cool to see. I'm from D.C. originally, so I try to keep an eye out for like, people in the DMV scene and stuff. And I see you working with, like, almost everybody out there.
Chill. Damn, I had no idea. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, shout out to me. But it feels like, I mean, just watching D.C. in these past few years, like, I'm not there anymore. I'm in Kansas City, but it feels like there has been a rise. Like, there's sort of like the city's bubbling with a lot more talent. It feels like there's a lot more like resources in terms of venues and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that's the case? Do you feel that energy? And then also, like, because I feel so often we talk about like, oh, that city's on the come up. But for you as an artist, like, what does that mean to you and for you to hear or feel that your city's on like the rise?
Oh yeah, definitely. It feels really good, man, because like around 2012, me and my man, we just started this thing called Through a Watt. Shout out OGK, shout out Micah Doom, shout out Rez, Jim Boy, and everybody else. And basically, we were just screaming out Maryland pride. Like it was so what's the word I'm looking for? Taboo, I guess. I don't know. People just didn't like saying it was from Maryland. Even niggas who was born and raised in Maryland, they kept saying they were DC artists. And I was just like, the fuck is wrong with being from Maryland? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then outside of the DMV, no one knew who the hell we were. So, you know, all we had was barely Wale at the time. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, everyone was just like, yeah, like, when niggas would get on, you would even see LA in some people's bio. You know, like people like, nigga, you went to Crossland. You dig what I'm saying? Like, why you have LA as and in Fader articles, niggas just saying you from LA, like you're not even correcting nobody. So it really wasn't a thing to say you was from DC, Maryland, or Virginia, and it actually mean anything. So to see it go from that to DMV is the new place that everyone is looking to for the next hot artist. It just feel like all the work that we put in and all the things that we were screaming and taking pride in, like it's all paying off, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Yeah,
I remember I'm from Montgomery County, and hearing like Wale say Moco was like crazy because you never heard that shit. It was always like everyone from Atlanta or like LA takes that shit for granted, but like hearing like someone say your area code or your county is like crazy. It's like such an underrated feeling. Right?
Yeah. And that's what I was telling people. I was like, you got to think about how many people from these neighborhoods, like, they never had anything. They don't have anything to claim their own or to say that they're proud of. So it don't matter how small or unknown where you're from is. If you repping it, if you're that good of an artist and you get on, like, everyone's going to know where that area is. And then soon enough, everyone else from the surrounding areas is going to start wanting to rep the same thing. They was like, all right. Niggas going to be like, all right, well, shit, that nigga rep Orlando, I'm about to rep, you know what I'm saying, Siouxland. And then everybody from California, they're going to know where Siouxland's at. They're going to know where motherfucking Kent Springs is at. They're going to know where Greenbelt is at. They're going to know where Largo is at, you know, and then it's just going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be like Cali. Like when you hear Kendrick and Schoolboy and all of them, you feel like you know where Rosecrans is. You feel like you're on the street with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be the same thing. So that's when niggas got to get it.
Yeah, I remember back in 2017, the Washington Post published like 25 songs to like no DMV rap and showing why it's like on the come up. And I remember you got shouted out on that. How did that feel to get that kind of recognition?
It was bittersweet because I remember not being on those lists and then always looking at those lists and saying like, damn, these niggas don't know where the real talent is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would, like, promote, like, the wackest artists or the artists that nobody know about, you know what I'm saying, or nobody care about. And you just be like, damn, man, like, these niggas just been messing with these artists for clout. And then everybody would just, like, all my contemporaries at the time would just be like, yeah, these lists suck. Yeah, fuck the list. Yeah, well, Rage Against the Machine. Like, that's how niggas was. And then to be on there, it's just like, oh, shit, now I'm one of the artists on there. And it felt good, but at the same time, now I see other artists who came up with me or who still trying to come up, and they was like, oh, these lists suck. Like, damn, got this person on there, that person on there. I'm just like, kid, I used to be in that same position doing the same thing y'all niggas is doing. So there's like, it was wild as shit. So it was like bittersweet, you know?
Yeah, I'm curious. Have you ever considered moving? Because I know, like, you're originally from New York, and everyone says you got to go to New York or LA. Like, have you ever considered moving, or are you staying put in DC?
Nah, I'm staying put. Like, move for what? Like, the goal is to get, if the goal is to get people who want to hear or want to know where the next hotbed of music coming from, is to get niggas to come here. That's been the goal. That's why I haven't left yet. I had opportunities to move to New York and LA, and I was like, nah, I felt like I had more work to do here. You know what I'm saying? So this is the work. This is what comes from the hard work and believing and having the faith and the city where you're from. Now, I do feel like I've hit Ja like a roof where it's time to, you know, keep growing and shit. So yeah, I need a network. I need to go to LA and New York to, you know, meet the people, shake their hands, work with different artists, stuff like that. Go to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, go to Florida. But I feel like I'm my most creative when I'm here, you know? And I love knowing about everything that's going on around here. So
you said you feel like you sort of like hit a ceiling in a way. What is that? What makes you say that?
I mean, there's only but so many producers I can work with here that can help take my sound to the next level. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's only but so many, like, niggas who work for motherfucking Adidas who just gonna randomly see me, you know, at a show or on a blog and be like, oh shit, you know, come do this commercial or come here, come try on these new shoes, you know, woo woo. You don't get a lot of opportunities like that.
Mm-hmm.
In DC, you gotta be in people's faces for them to fuck with you. It's not that you're not good enough. It's just that, nigga, you are invisible.
Mm-hmm.
So for those reasons, niggas gotta learn that staying here ain't always the move. You gotta branch out and meet people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have your creative bed be home where you're from, you know, DMV, but then you gotta branch out and take that sauce and,
mm-hmm.
you know, present it to other areas and shit.
Yeah, you mentioned like sort of you got to work with new people. It's crazy to like go back through and see all the DC artists you work with, like Manny Wells, Matt McGee,
Mm-hmm.
Goldlink, Micah Doom. Like all those guys are like the DC standard. I mean, it seems like you work with almost everybody. What is it about collaborations that speaks to you, or that you like working with other artists?
Me personally, I think looking back, I think it just really comes from Kanye, man. To be honest. He was a huge inspiration of mine coming up making music, and Late Registration and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and 808s and Heartbreaks, those were really impressionable, you know, growing up. So and those are really, really collaborative projects right there. So you might hear a song and it got like 8 different artists on it and you wouldn't even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that was just amazing to me. So I always wanted to do stuff like that. So I was just like, yeah, I'm trying to collaborate and bring in like 8 different people to get in the record, and it all just comes together and it doesn't seem like you're doing too much. Like, I love making that type of collaborative effort, making it look effortless. That's what I pride myself in. You know what I'm saying? I don't like niggas listening to it and be like, oh, he did too much, or he was just trying to clout you. It's never for the clout. It's always for just making good music. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It always feels real natural, especially given like the sort of the DMV. Like you keep it close to home. It feels real natural. There's obviously one that came out. You did Same Clothes as Yesterday with Goldlink. I'm curious. Like that's one of my favorite albums. I feel like that was one of those ones that like really helped take the new scene of DC onto like the main, like, you know, get it under I guess, what is it, global perspective. People started taking a look at the DMV. What was it like being on that album, and how was that experience for you?
Oh yeah, that's tough. Yeah. That was the song I was actually working on. That was actually my song that I produced with my man Mike and Rez, and he heard it and was like, "Yo, this is amazing." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, yo, let's collab. Let's fuck with this joint. Make this joint as great as a song as we can make it. And then, so me and him started working on the song together. He added to it. He added the hook to it. I had some extra production from Louis Lastic added to it, and it just became like, it went from something I made in my room with one headphone to what you hear to this day.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So and that verse on there, that's a funny story. I actually recorded that verse in my room So it's not even like a high quality audio clip. It was because I tried to re-record it in like the real studio, in the good studio, but it didn't have that same feeling. It didn't come out as good. So we kept the original recording from when I made that song in my room, and then we built around it.
That's so awesome. What was it like hearing that, like, and seeing that album like blow up like that? Was it like, I guess, what was that like for you?
It was amazing, man. I was just watching my man D and his element. You know, it was humbling actually, because, you know, for someone as good as him and where he's at in his career, you know what I'm saying? You would always picture an artist like maybe doing less work, or maybe working a little less hard, or, you know, maybe things coming easier to him, maybe effortlessly or something like that. But with him, he's a really, really hard worker. He's real tedious. He's a perfectionist. And it was just real humbling to see somebody in the studio every day, every night, you know, inviting everybody to the studio, everybody coming through, sitting there for hours, listening and re-listening to the project and taking songs, adding songs off, putting songs on there. It was a real humbling experience. I was like, wow, like, this is what niggas who's gonna be in this joint for a long time do. Like, they try and perfect their craft.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
That's dope.
So,
and
it was motivating.
Word. Getting to your music, you just dropped recently, your last two are like Bite Down and Good. I'm curious, can you tell us just a little bit about those, how those ones came about, and sort of how they link back to Devil's Pie?
Yeah, for sure. Bite Down was actually, I had that beat for like almost a year, possibly a year. Super Mario sent that to me a brick ago. That's my man. We connected on some, just being fans of each other's music. I DM'd him, I was like, yo, I really fuck with your music. And then he's like, yo, I actually already fuck with you. I've been listening to your shit. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. So we got cool. He sent me the Function beat. That was the first beat he ever sent me. We made a whole hit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then he sent me a bunch of shit after that. He was like, he heard that thing. He was like, oh, nah, here's some more. He just sent me a whole bunch of more shit. And then that was one of the beats. And I didn't do nothing with it for a year. I really couldn't, like, tackle it, or I couldn't sit with it yet. And then I was in the studio with Black Fortune. And then he was just like, yeah, let's make some shit. I really fuck with the shit. Let's make some shit. I'm like, all right, bet. Yeah, niggas, yeah. So we threw some beats on. He was like, nah, this one, nah. And then I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Let's throw this joint on. I threw it on. He was like, oh, this joint go crazy. And I was just like, yeah, bet. So we both just started writing to it. We came up with the hook. We made that song in 30 minutes.
Wow.
We made the whole song in 30 minutes. Like, wrote it and did the hooks and recorded everything in like 30 minutes.
Damn, that's crazy to sit on it for a year and then knock it out in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and then I put it out like weeks later. It was wild. Yeah, that wasn't even supposed to be on a project. It just came out of nowhere. We were just like, oh, nah, this is it. You know, so we just put it out there. And Good, I was randomly in the studio in New York recording other shit, and then Sango just randomly DM'd me a beat.
That's crazy.
And I DM'd him back and was just like, nigga, you a fool. This shit go crazy.
Yeah, Sango's insane.
You hear me? Like, I literally stopped the song I was making and then made a whole nother song to Good right then and there. And I made that joint in like an hour. Wow. And then that just became the next single. And that was that's how that joint came together. But Good was actually about, a lot of people don't know this, Good was actually about saying that, you know, it's really taboo in the Black community to say that you got problems, mental problems, that you're going through shit, like that you can't sleep at night, that you know, whatever the issue may be mentally and or emotionally, and especially like niggas from the hood, like we seen some traumatic things growing up, and it's just like we just taught to say that you always good, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, instead of saying that you need help, what we do, we take it out on our vices. Like we go deeper, we go harder. Like we glashing niggas, like we fighting, we getting drunk, like we getting high. You know what I'm saying? Then it might just come out one day. You know, so like that's what Good is really about. You know?
Was that what was it about the beat or that moment, I guess, that made you want to tackle that subject? Because I'm sure it's like that's not something you can do over every song, or like, was there something you were thinking about at the time that made you want to address that on that song?
Well, my brother had just passed away, so I was just I don't know. I was in my bag, I guess. And then I honestly started writing to it, trying to make I was trying to make like a feel good like joint that niggas can just ride around to and shit. And I'm writing the lyrics and I'm just like having fun with it. And I look up, I'm just like, damn, nigga, you got some real problems. I'm sitting there writing the lyrics to it, and I'm just like, damn, I'm talking about some depressing shit, bro. Like, this is not no cranking ass music, like subject matter. Like, this is you saying some shit that you might need to go talk to somebody about. So I was just like, fuck it. Instead of rewriting a verse, I'm gonna this is what I'm gonna make the song about,
Yeah. What's your process like when you get the right beat and create a song?
I used to be really bad at making hooks, and I used to be really, really good at just like putting words together. So I used to play my music for all my mans, and then they used to be like, "Yo, you killed the verses, but your hooks is some shit." So this song is some shit. I was just, I was like, okay.
At least they're honest.
Okay. So that's when I realized, yeah, you got to keep honest people around you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't got honest people around you, you're always going to stay stagnant. If you got niggas who telling you shit is some shit, those niggas you actually need to keep around you. And you shouldn't get mad. You shouldn't catch feelings. You should just get better. So you got to get your music to a point where it's undeniable, which means that can't nobody say that your music is some shit, It don't matter what they listen to. Even if they don't like the type of shit you're making, they're going to say, I get why people like it. Like, that's where you want to get your music to. You know what I'm saying? So my process is now I practice so much on hooks that I can make a hook first. So I'll make a hook or a melody first, and then I'll listen to the beat, and then I'll just decipher what type of feeling is coming to me from the beat, and I'll try to make the subject matter around that feeling and around that hook or around that melody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. How many your beats are like? I mean, you mentioned you have Super Mario, who also produced that one with S1, who's like a fucking legend. Shout out to S1, man. Yeah, you have Sango. Like, you obviously have these like connections, but how do you? I guess is you just dig through beats and find something that speaks to you? What's it like? What's your process for actually like picking them?
I used to do this thing on SoundCloud before niggas was really fucking with me, where I would just hit up like 100 producers, and then like 2 of them would actually hit you back, and then like 1 of them would actually fuck with you. So you know what I'm saying? So like I still keep the same process, but the only difference is a lot of producers hit me back now. Thank God, I'm blessed to say that. So I'll get a bunch of beats, and then I'll make as many songs as I can. And then I'll come up with as many melodies or ideas as I can, and then I'll take a bunch of ideas that sound similar, and then that's what I literally built multiple projects around. Like I made like 3 projects, and they're not out. Devil Pie is one's gonna come out, but for all the projects I have made, that's what I did. All the sounds that sounded similar, I made songs. All the songs that I made that sound similar, I bunched them together in different projects, and then that's my process.
That's crazy to go from like hitting up 100 producers, only hearing from 2, to like DMing with Super Mario and Sango. Like, when did you start to feel like it was turning the other way, and like you were really like connecting with these producers? Did you change the way you reached out? Was it just a matter of getting your name out there? How did you make that step?
Well, first off, I just want to say, a rapper ain't shit without a producer. He really not. A lot of rappers get like arrogant or think that they don't even like giving producers credit, and they don't even like communicating, and it's all types of wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a terrible communicator, but like there ain't no rapper that's where he's at now without the producer. He's making, he gets a percentage of half of the song, but a lot of times he's doing more than half. Because a lot of these producers are engineering for these artists too. So shout out producers. But it started turning around for me, I think, when Who I Am dropped, which is a song. It's like a little trap song that I made with Mr. Neek. He's like my engineer and my producer.
I know Neek.
yeah, that's my good man. That's my brother, man. That's my brother. But so my brother sent me that beat. We made a hit. I put it out. DJ Booth loved it. They put it on their DJ Booth SoundCloud before I got deleted. And then after that, niggas heard that joint and was like, okay, I fuck with this guy. So now I would, after that started working, I started DMing producers that song I made. I was like, yo, this is what I'm working with. This is what I'm doing. Fuck with me. So they can have some type of idea of what they're going to get out of me. But then I started messing up because everybody started sending me trap shit, and all the soul producers, like all the niggas who make like Dilla type beats, none of them would fuck with me. They was like, I don't want no triple time rapping ass nigga over one of my beats. No. And they just wouldn't send me beats. So then I had to find a producer who can make like, more jazzy, soulful things, which is really what I'm in love with. Mm-hmm. And then I put out Right About, and then after that, more producers like that started hitting me up. So it was around that area. Like I put out Right About and Who I Am, and things just started changing for me for the better.
That's awesome.
Before then, I'm telling you, it was years and years and years where I was just getting like no's from all the producers I wanted to work with. They didn't see it, I guess. Mm-hmm. But now I'm finally able to make the music that I feel like I was always capable of creating. So I'm actually getting opportunities from these producers.
That's dope.
Which sucks, but it's cool at the same time.
Yeah, got to put in the work before you get it. And speaking of like the work and the patience and stuff, I know it's been a minute. We're sort of all anxiously awaiting Devil's Pie, like you mentioned it. Mm-hmm. Where are you at with that project? What can you tell us a little bit about it?
Looking at January, I want to drop it in January. So y'all the first people getting that date. Hey. But yeah, I want to drop it in January. We'll see how that goes. Maybe early February the latest. But it's been done for a while, and then I kind of got held up because this is a story. This is a conversation for another day. But couple like labels and things were looking at me, and things were just kind of falling through. Like people were like pump faking or like just holding off, and I didn't want to drop anything before. I knew what was going on with like the deals that were on the table, because some of them were good, some of them were bad, but I was still processing which ones I wanted to take. I was still getting more looks from other places, so I didn't want to put out anything unless I knew who I was releasing with. Mm-hmm. So I held back on putting anything out, and then 2 months turned into like 5 months, and I still didn't have anything signed, and that's when I was just like, well, I can't. I know I got these things on the table, but I can't keep holding on for my project, making the people starve while I'm waiting on these niggas who they don't have a time limit. Like they take they time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, fuck that shit. I'm losing momentum. I needed to put out something. So that's when I was like, I'm just go ahead, drop this music, let people know that, I'm working hard, these things is coming. And then, like I said, January, February, I might have a whole thing drop. I ain't gonna have too much content drop before it. Maybe I think I'll have like one video or something, and this is gonna be done in a beautiful way, amazing execution, and I'm gonna give niggas this good music for the rest of my career. You hear me?
Awesome. I'm sure it's been tough waiting, but like, is there been sort of silver lining to that? Like, has it helped you sort of shape the project any better? Have you changed it a lot? Like, being able to sit with it must be frustrating, but also it must be like beneficial to really take that time.
Yes. At first, I didn't think it was going to be beneficial, because I was just like, the only thing that's changed is time passed. And then over the last month, I can't tell you who, but I've got some amazing production from an amazing string of producers. And now my shit is sounding even better than it did literally 2 months ago. So I'm actually glad it happened. Everything happens for a reason, and I can't wait to give y'all this good music.
Awesome, and we can't wait to hear it. You want to give us one of those producers, or just maybe like a word that rhymes with one of their names, like
Ltrain. His name is Ltrain, Eltrain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ltrain.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Like, I guess what else? We talk about Devil's Pie coming up. But you got any shows? Is there anything else you're working on?
Yeah, Devil's Pie coming up. I got a couple features coming out with a couple cool people. That's about it. And it's really going to tee up once this project drops, because it's going probably be like one more single in the video, but it's gonna be very well done, and it's gonna be exactly what the people wanted.
Dope, man. Well, we're excited to hear it. Before we let you go, we got 3 random questions for you.
Let's go.
You're going to a gas station. What are you going to pick up?
I'm going to pick up smoking sweet Utz kettle chips.
Okay.
Yeah. And honey bun.
No one's ever said honey butter before. That's a new one.
Yeah. But you gotta put the honey bun in the microwave for 20 seconds.
Oh, shit. That's some next level shit.
Yeah.
The next one would be, what's your favorite line you've written recently?
My favorite line I've written?
Yeah.
Or recently one you've got, like, you just wrote that you're, like, really happy about or stands out to you.
I got a son and a fear that I might not bond with him. That he grew up and looks up to men I ain't honest as. That's it.
That's dope. What does it mean? Like, sort of, can you explain the context of it without giving too much away? I don't want to get you in trouble, but just to, like, sort of explain it a little bit.
Yeah, just exactly what it said. You know, I got a son. You know, I'm just trying to be transparent, talk about my fears.
Mm-hmm.
I got a fear that, you know, I have an amazing son, and that one day, we're not as close as we are now. You know what I'm saying? And I got a fear that he might grow up and not look up to me and look up to somebody that I'm not even as honest as. Like, that nigga actually is a better man than me.
Mm-hmm.
And he looking up to him and not me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking fear right there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, that was a deep rap genius dive there.
Yeah, that was fine, man.
Last one, sort of a two-parter. Who's the person you would most want to be stuck on an elevator with, and the person you would least like to be stuck on an elevator with?
All right, cool. Least Donald Trump. Most Tiana Trump.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for joining us, man. We're looking forward to Devil's Pie coming to the top of the year, and you definitely have our support, and we're excited to hear it.
Hey, man. I really fuck with y'all, man. I really appreciate the letters y'all been giving me, dog. Like, real life. Thank you.
Sure, no problem, man. Of course. DC's got to stick together.
Yeah, you hear me?
Talk to you later, man.
All right, bro. Y'all be safe.
See ya.
All right, peace.
You're locked into Independent Grind on Dash Radio. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern for the latest hip-hop news, music, and interviews. Independent Grind only on Dash Radio, baby. Tech 9!
This is the genius, Chris Calico.
Cali, baby!
Letting you know you're tuned into Tech 9's Independent Grind on Dash Radio.